Rayzr. Hey, welcome back to Sketchin with Rayzr, and today I'm drawing some requested fan art of a character named Debrii. I believe this is a superhero from the Marvel Comics, and I'm pretty sure her ability is telekinesis. The funny thing about that is, in a lot of the images that I've seen when I was researching her, she's taking a bunch of things that's just lying around her and just tossing at whatever she's fighting. So I can just imagine her getting ready to fight a supervillain in front of an elderly home, and she's just like using her telekinesis to pick up all the elderly people and tossing it at them. Actually, the coolest thing that I've seen her do with the Debrii is form it into this floating creature that she can use to attack people with. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty cool. She could probably make her own little sentinel. I feel like she's one of those characters that I should know about, but I didn't know anything about her before my research. I didn't know about her powers, who she was, or whatever. The ironic part about that is that I have seen her before. During my research back when I was drawing artwork of Squirrel Girl, there's this one image that I kept seeing where it's Squirrel Girl throwing up tippy toes towards the screen, and sitting right next to both of them is Debrii mean mugging for some reason. She's probably like, I want to be thrown up to a screen too. Pick me up and toss me like a football. Even though she could probably just toss herself with her powers. I initially didn't know what I wanted to do for the art piece, so I kind of had to do a little bit of thumbnailing for myself. I did some off screen, but for on screen I did about 3. One idea was her throwing debris towards the side of the screen. The second idea was her surfing one of the debris while tossing a whole bunch of the debris around her towards the screen. I initially was just going to go with that because, that's seemed to be cooler to me, but I realized how complicated that would be to pull off. So I said, okay, I'm just going to do a combination of both where instead of her just tossing debris to the side, she's going to be tossing debris towards the screen in an action pose. Of course, because my first encounter with her during my research was her mean mugging, that was essentially going to be her face while she's tossing debris. I didn't know what exact style I was going to go for, so I kind of went with a sort of pseudo-realistic style. And in terms of the color scheme, it was mostly just base and shade with a little bit of lighting. From the research that I've seen, I haven't seen her... I've seen some iterations of her where there is like a little bit of aura like around her eyes and sometimes her hands, but it's not in all of them, which leads me to believe that her powers don't necessarily have an aura around the things that she's been throwing. It's normally just, she's waving her hand or doing some sort of pose, and then there's a bunch of debris and trash cans and rocks and pebbles and bricks and stuff just being tossed at you, which is, I was like, okay, that's fine. In terms of the most challenging thing for this particular artwork, it was definitely the hands, which I feel like I need to make a video on someday of me just practicing hands. For the right hand that she pulled back in a sort of claw-like pose, I was having trouble with the perspective of the fingers pointing towards the screen. That whole foreshortening, because it looks weird. So I decided to do what a lot of beginner artists do and just hide it behind an effect. Ooh, glowy hands. Don't pay attention to proportions. But aside from that, this was very simple, and I finished it relatively quickly. But if you guys have any requests on what you'd like me to draw next, just let me know in the comment section. I also would like to work on more stylistic art styles. In fact, the next one I'm thinking about practicing is chibi artwork. But we'll see. I hope you guys have a good one, and make sure to keep your mind, body, and soul razor sharp.
Rayzr.